Welcome back to Dat Build. Today I am not progressing on my Porsche Turbo Replica, but just giving a progress update. And of course, the welding skills are progressing. Let's just leave it at that. I'm still a ways to go, obviously. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still persevering with the gasless wire, and of course, keep getting told many times, just change the gas stuff. Where I would get the gas cylinder, they're closed, been closed for a while, so I'm just a bit lazy to travel out and get it. So I just really don't want to spend the extra money, honestly. I think personally, from what I've done, and of course I have taken pictures before, I've kind of destroyed it since doing a stress test basically, and it's in certain areas worked out reasonably okay. In other areas, there's not been enough penetration, and of course the two surfaces have simply seemed apart, which isn't great, especially if I can do that with a screwdriver. The forces of a moving driving vehicle is just going to shred it. So it's just a matter of really sorting that problem out. Of course, I still have to get to a point where I am absolutely happy to weld on the final piece back onto the chassis and sort that all out. Then I've got to go about learning the next process, which of course is spot welding, and of course can be done with a MIG, better with an actual spot welder itself. Gone over this before. I will need some serious arms here to be able to encompass the floor pans, so just not. But otherwise it is just simply working out all the kinks of learning to weld, and this is just taking the most amount of time. Unfortunately, I was hoping to be a bit further than this by now. I still also have to get the front end sorted, which again I cannot do in talks to the Volkswagen shop, so I am just basically waiting for a free slot, I suppose. It's there's always work going on, so it's just one of those things. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much it. I mean, I haven't touched anything else, can't really do anything else for the most part. I mean, I can't finish anything off on the chassis. The rear end itself, haven't bought those bits just yet. I am still a bit of a ways out on those, but I've kind of got to get everything else sorted before I get to that point. Realistically, sort the chassis out, get that to a decent order, get the floor pans welded on so that I'm back to having an actual tub. And then of course, sort that front end out. I'll start to work on the front end, so replacing all the bushes and shock absorbers, steering rack arms, the brakes are a question mark. I can leave them for now. I don't really need to sort them out, but just getting that into a nice point as well. Maybe then no, actually after that I'm going to sort the frame out, the space frame. That really does need a proper cleanup. I am going to look at fixing the really horrible cutouts, and I've still got to measure things. I've got to figure out how I can actually measure it and get it square. It is not square. I've got more metal on the bottom than I do on the top. That is not right. So that has to be sorted as well. And yeah, it's just progress basically. It's just working through everything. So that's pretty much it. Not really much of an episode again, but it is just the fact of it is that had I had these skills in the first place, wouldn't be a problem. I can just get on with it. Don't learning it, progressing, and of course, it's just all part of the process. I mean, if you want to do these things from the ground up and of course learn it as you go, do majority of the work, then you have to acquire the skills. So it's, yeah, it is just what it is. So that's going to do it again today, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, like, subscribe, comment below, etc. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbor. I don't know. Hopefully you had a good weekend last week. And yeah, we'll see you again next time. Cheers.